I will now show you another kind of loop, the so-called while loop. So far, we have used the for loop for repetitions. It repeats instructions a given number of times, and you need to know in advance how many times you want to repeat those instructions. There are situations, however, where we simply don't know in advance how many times we need to repeat. So imagine, for example, rolling a dice, and you want to roll it until you get a 6, and then you get to do something special. We don't know how long that's going to take. So if we wanted to simulate this in a program, a for loop would be really difficult to use. So let's try to look at this example. Again, I'm going to switch myself to the split input and output so that I can just only have to enter the input once. So suppose the dice rolls are 3, 5, 2, 1, 4, and then finally the 6. So we want to read these until we get to that 6, but we don't know how many there are. And I want this program still to work if I, for example, add other rolls here. So if this is for a different way of rolling my dice. So how do I do that? First of all, I need a variable in which I'm going to read a current dice value. Dice value. What else do I need? Well, I want to read that value. So I want to scanf with a %d from the input, this dice value. That's going to read the first dice value. And that first value is a 3 in this example here, and so I probably don't want to keep that because it's not a 6. But the next one is still not a 6 either, so I don't want to keep that either. So that sounds like a looping construct. But the loop is not going to be a for loop because I just don't know how long it's going to take me to get to that first 6. It's a so-called while loop. So I want to repeat reading while I haven't read a 6 yet. So how do I check whether I have read a 6? This is how my while loop is going to look. There's a condition that goes in here, and then I want to keep reading. I want to sort of keep putting another scanf in there with the %d and dice value. I want to update my dice value. I think I misspelled dice value up here. What's this condition that goes in here? I need to check whether my dice value is not 6. So let's get myself a new variable, not 6. And how do I determine what value to give that, whether it's true or false? Well, not 6 should be the truth statement where the dice value is not equal to 6. So in the first case here, I read a 3 from the input. So 3 is not equal to 6. So dice value is not equal to 6. That's a true statement. So not 6 will be true, or a 1. So not 6, it's exactly what I put into my condition for the while loop. Just like for an if statement, I can put a condition in there. For the while loop, I can put the condition in here. And so that means the while loop is entered because not 6 is going to be true. So I enter this while loop and I read another dice value. I should put a semicolon at the end. But then I need to update not 6 because now I have read a new dice value. So not 6 needs to also be updated. So not 6, again, is updated as dice value not equal to 6. And next, a 5 is going to be read. So dice value is going to be 5. 5 is not equal to 6. So dice value again is not equal to 6. So not 6 again is going to be a 1. And so this while loop repeats again. Next, a 2 is read, that's not 6, then a 2 is read, then a 1, then 4. Finally, when a 6 is read with a scanf statement, then the statement dice value not equal to 6 is going to be false. So not 6 then gets a 0, and this 0 in the while statement here makes us exit this loop. So once not 6 is 0, the loop is exited and the program finishes. We're going to run this program in step-by-step mode to really verify that everything works the way I just described it. So first we compile, and now we're going to execute it step by step. Dice value is declared, not 6 is declared, and we read the first dice value from the user input, which is a 3. And you can see in the variable editor that dice value now has the value 3. Next, we're going to check whether dice value is not equal to 6, and we know it's not. And so that statement is true. And so not 6 now got updated and has the value 1. That's why we are allowed to enter the while loop, because not 6 is equal to 1, which corresponds to true. So we enter this while loop and execute the statements inside the curly braces. We read the next dice value, which is that 5. So dice value now has the value 5. And then we update not 6. Is 5 not equal to 6? That is indeed true. And so not 6 is updated with a 1. It had the value 1 before, but nonetheless it's updated. Again, the loop condition is met, and so we enter the loop again. We read the next value, which is a 2. Not 6 is updated. 2 is not equal to 6, so not 6 keeps the value 1, but it was reevaluated. The loop is entered again. We read another 2. 2 is not equal to 6. Loop is entered again. We read the 1. 1 is not equal to 6. Loop is entered again. We read the 4. 4 is not equal to 6. Loop is entered again. We read the 6. So now dice value is equal to 6. So dice value is no longer not equal to 6. It is equal to 6. In other words, not 6 all of a sudden gets the value 0. So that corresponds to false. Now the loop condition is false, which means the loop is no longer entered. We exit this loop. This terminates the loop. We get to the return statement, and the program finishes. So this is how we can repeat instructions a number of times that is not predetermined and not known